Are you full gear ready? Because I think we are.
I'm full gear ready.
Are you, Eric?
Hell yeah, I'm full gear ready.
We are full gear ready, like they've been saying on Being the Elite all year long. Welcome, everybody, to the Stel Sauna podcast, episode 6,
Hey,
a
us.
full gear invasion. So, we have a fun episode ahead. It's very AEW and WWE-centric with some New Japan sprinkled in, but we won't waste any more time. I am your host, the King of Shoot Style, Stel, and I am joined by Sam Little.
That is I, sharpshooter Sam.
And I am also joined by Eric, once again.
Howdy, howdy.
How the hell are you both?
I'm
Not
doing
bad.
pretty damn good. Full gear ready.
Full
Let's
gear
get
ready.
into this.
We are very full gear ready. So we will start with the one count and get right into things with the headlines. So going in condescending order, Crown Jewel happened.
Good one.
That was a thing.
You know-
it was actually not bad.
It was not bad.
Was it great?
Maybe
Eh.
unpopular opinion, but it was not bad.
One of the better Saudi shows.
I think it might have been probably the best, comfortably. So yeah. So in our notes we have Fiend wins title. Yay! He won.
Yeah, thank
So
God.
yeah, that was probably the highlight of the night.
Fiend doesn't need the title.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, I love the Fiend, but he is like, it's kind of like what the Undertaker was. He doesn't need the title. He's an attraction in himself.
Yeah.
Or better examples, Andre the Giant. He never wanted a championship because he didn't need it.
Exactly.
Instead, he went undefeated for like 15 years.
Until Hogan beat him. Yeah, so there was a lot of discussion about the Fiend a long time ago. If it's like a month or so ago, I remember some guys talking about WWE kind of booked themselves into a corner with the Fiend for Hell in a Cell, where it's you didn't really need to book this, and yeah, how it turned out, it kind of spoiled the rest of the show because there was
really messed it up.
yeah, because the show was already not bad so far. It had a good opener, and there's some other good bits, but that really got to overshadow the rest of the show, which sucks because there was some good stuff on it.
Yeah.
But there was the whole issue because Rollins had a backlash ever since, and even before then he was having a hard time with the fans, and even since Crown Jewel hasn't been going so well for him. But with the Fiend's case, it's been going a lot better for him. It's good seeing some payoff for all the work he's been doing, and now he's an interesting spot as one of the top guys on SmackDown. And now, yeah, Universal title is now on SmackDown.
Which, that's a weird feeling.
Yeah, it was weird at first because you had both belts on SmackDown, but then Brock went to Raw.
Brock said, I quit.
Matt Riddle's here? Oh, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So-
about to head out.
Yeah, I'm a head out, and then he showed up on Raw, and now from what Heyman described, he has it doesn't matter where he goes because Brock Lesnar does what he wants. That's
Yeah.
basically how Heyman described it. I'm like, you know what? It's Brock Lesnar.
It's Brock Lesnar.
He does what he
Couldn't have
wants.
said any better myself.
Plus, in real life, it's Heyman is the guy who runs Raw now. He works them all.
It would
the
make the
time.
most sense for Brock to go to Raw.
I think
anyway.
for Heyman's sanity too, it works out better for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense. I'm kind of happy the WWE title is on Raw, which is kind of more of the wrestling show right
Yeah,
now. Whereas,
honestly,
there's a
yeah.
fair share of it on SmackDown too, but SmackDown's kind of the attraction with Tyson Fury showing up and the Fiend
All the
doing
celebrities.
all
I
their stuff.
feel like
Yeah.
SmackDown has been the quest for how much money we can make as possible out,
And
of,
it's been
out of
going
this industry.
It's been
you know
going
what I
okay
mean?
too.
It's not that it's been going bad. It's just I don't feel like I'm watching WWE. I feel like I'm watching some sort of Fox program. If that
Yeah,
makes any
right.
sense.
Ever since the first episode, the presentation felt different.
Yeah.
Sure, they have cool stuff happen. The NXT episode was really fun. That was a good time. But when you watch it, aside from that one episode, it feels like a very your very standard good guy goes over usually kind of episode.
Yeah.
It's usually your it's kind of stereotypical. It's both good and bad.
I
but-
feel like Fox is just trying to make it too much like it was back in 2006,
Which-
2000, wherever.
I mean, I thought it was great back then.
It was great back then, but
now-
they're trying too hard now.
Yeah,
you
it's
know what I
you can
mean?
kind of see through it. It's for PR's sake. But, I don't mind it, but I remember I said this last time, I'm more of a Raw guy now, which is weird because I've always
Yeah.
been more of a
I'm
SmackDown guy.
always a SmackDown guy, but now,
Raw's
looking at the
been-
Raw roster.
Besides that whole Rusev fiasco, Raw's been doing pretty
Raw's
good
doing,
lately.
yeah, Raw, they're more long-term building. People may not be invested, in people like Umberto Carrillo.
2 people. I think we got another person watching. Thank God.
Ignore the chat, it's probably Tim.
It's probably.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
But yeah, so with Raw, they're doing a lot more long-term stuff. So they're more so building the guys like Buddy Murphy, Umberto Carrillo, Aleister Black is on
Nothing
and off.
wrong with that.
Which is that's what the younger people like us want to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in and out. With SmackDown, it's more so like your mainstay stars, your Daniel Bryans, your Roman Reigns.
Which I feel Daniel Bryan's the odd man out.
Yeah, I feel like he would have been.
Yeah.
He would have been better on Raw.
With the roster especially.
I feel like he would have blended in, but Daniel Bryan's a big star no matter what.
Yeah,
So,
you got that.
It was
right.
weird because how Fox promoted SmackDown too, for all like these big names like you have. Let's see who was promoted for SmackDown, but it's on Raw now. You had Seth Rollins in the advertisements. You had Becky Lynch in the advertisements. You had Charlotte in the advertisements. It's like, yeah, they're all gonna go to Raw.
And
it's
Fox
like,
was
what?
like, "Oh, we can't get all of them."
It's like, what?
Rats.
Rat. I mean, it would have been unfair to Raw.
Yeah.
That's also a 3-hour show. You got to fill time somehow.
I'm just surprised Elias didn't make the move to Raw. Out
Yeah.
of all people.
When we did the mock draft, that was like one of the obvious picks for us. It was like, yeah, we're going to put Elias on Raw.
By the way, where's Elias?
Reportedly injured. So
I thought I
yeah.
heard he was coming back. I just saw
Soon.
a promo.
I hear
for him.
soon he's going to be like all good and back on TV. So we'll see him probably after Survivor Series is my best guess. Or maybe he'll appear at Survivor Series like a surprise team member for SmackDown. We don't
Makes
know.
sense.
But sticking to Crown Jewel, other stuff that happened. First ever women's match happened, which was, it was like no technical masterpiece, but it's a good PR move.
It did what it needed to do.
It did its message, and I guess Lacey Evans is a goodie now.
Yeah, Are they a tag team now?
No, because Nandy's on Raw.
Yeah, Lacey's on SmackDown. I forgot
Yeah,
about
because like
that.
she hasn't been on TV like on SmackDown, but she has been like she was in the Saudi match, and I'm sure they just gave her some time to rest since then, which is like valid. That's a long enough commute.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll probably. I'd imagine she'll be on the Survivor Series team, and it looks like she'll be one of the faces on SmackDown because SmackDown's kind of heel dominated right now.
It's very heel dominated right now.
Because most of your champions are heels,
I
except for the New
wouldn't
Day.
call Bray Wyatt a heel.
He's kind of a character.
He's just a tweener character.
He's a character. Like we've talked about it multiple times in the show, where it's like alignments are becoming less relevant now in wrestling. Where it's
They
like
really are.
it's more about their motivations, like Bray Wyatt. Oh wait, there's a message in the chat.
Thank you, Tim. Very enlightening words from our fearless leader.
Well, from our producer, I can't even read it because I'm far
Says
away.
pee poo poo Tim.
Nice.
Thank you,
Nice. I appreciate that. But yeah, other stuff on Crown Jewel. OC won the tag team tournament thing. The
Tim. Which,
turmoil.
wow.
Surprising, but now
Greatest tag team in the world.
not the Lucha Brothers. It's the
Or-
OC.
It was the best.
Or
the best-
GOD Firing Squad.
Ooh,
Bullet Club.
Yeah, New Japan.
Let's not forget them.
Yeah, it was weird because I thought the Raiders were going to win. And I'm like, yeah.
I
the most
thought they
sense.
were just gonna pull one on us, and because originally it was called for the best tag team in the world, and we all know what best begins with.
Shane McMahon.
That too, but I thought B Team was gonna pull that one.
Oh, right. B stands for. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Wait, was anyone else shocked that Hawkins and Ryder didn't win? Were they even
I
in
forgot they were in it. They didn't last long. I think they got eliminated by the New Day because the New Day were in there for a while because gotta help Kofi get rebuilt somehow. But yeah, it was a thing, and I didn't really care. But OC winning, it did scratch some heads at first.
It's right
But
though.
but
I'm
since
not
ever
complaining.
since then, it's made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's made a lot of sense, which we'll get to later. Other stuff. Tyson Fury won.
Yeah.
He had a very long entrance.
It's
that made
because boxing rules.
Yeah, because boxing is a thing in Saudi Arabia apparently too. So it's like, oh, let's have the guy who came in to face Braun Strowman and give Braun Strowman less credibility. Yay!
And now they're a tag team.
Well, yeah, which is weird. I don't like it. I don't know, man.
What is going on?
I think the biggest talking point from the match was Tyson Fury's entrance. Came out in full Saudi garb.
Yeah.
And it's like, I hope they're cool with that.
Yeah.
I was like, but then like he had all the pyro. Like every time he would like get in the ring, it's like, oh, more pyro goes
Let's
across the
face it,
stadium.
like 90% of the budget went towards pyro for that show.
Most of the show is pyro.
It's
Even if
cool
like
to look at.
2-minute
Even
pyro
Umberto
opening.
Carrillo got fucking pyro. Like,
Yeah, it's cool to look at, but it might be a bit excessive after a while. But it's like I guess the Saudis like seeing pyro. If they want to make like the Attitude Era shows, remember like when they requested Yokozuna at the very first one?
He's been dead.
Yeah,
Eddie Guerrero.
Free has a case of the dead. And the talking points. The most head scratching one, aside from the tag team one, which has made sense. Cain Velasquez, not great.
happening out in 90 seconds.
Not great.
88 seconds was the match, but he's also. They were surprised he could even walk. I guess his knee injury is so severe.
It is Cain Velasquez.
The guy is tough.
The guy eats rusty
Tougher
nails
than a
for
$2
breakfast.
steak
Without any milk. Yes.
Yeah, without any milk.
Yeah, so the
In
guy.
fact, he uses just sulfuric acid just to wash.
I mean, hey, he's been looking at stem cell to help treat his knee, but it looks like he is going to have to get surgery, which does suck because he is very committed from what I hear.
Yeah.
And I heard from a lot of reports that the guys on the trip earned respect for him and that he's getting along great with people, that's awesome. But
That's really
it does suck for him that he has to take some time away so soon after his debut to get better. But we send our best regards
It'll
to
just
Kane.
build it up for when he comes back and
Yeah.
just kills everybody.
And beats up Brock. We don't know what brand he's going to be on either. He's not signed anywhere apparently.
He's Cain
Raw.
Velasquez. He could probably
Rock
show
as a
up.
Ray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rock is the whole Ray storyline.
And Brock.
Yeah, because they keep them together. But it makes sense for SmackDown, who's an MMA guy. You lost your other MMA guy,
I guess we get freaking Tyson Fury.
I
Which I'm
guess.
still trying to figure that one out.
Yeah, I thought that was just a one-off, but I guess
Yeah.
not. And it's like,
We've all been
okay. Yeah, that was Crown Jewel. I'd rather not talk about all the travel issues that happened because
Ugh.
not great.
It's not great.
Not fun.
Technical
I've heard
issues, finger quotes.
I've heard a few reports online, but
There's been so many
I-
differing opinions
I
and
got
everything.
nothing for it, man.
It's all in the past. No,
not
let's,
touching that.
let's move on.
But now-
sticking to people in WWE, Randy Orton signed a new contract.
Yep.
Ooh.
Knew it. All that AEW
Yeah, no.
hype was just to get more money.
Look, guys, it's
We
Randy.
want your money.
Look, it's Randy Orton. Do you think this guy cares anymore? I
want him to.
look, Orton's legitimately one of the funniest guys in wrestling.
He is.
Him at social media is actually a riot because he'll just make fun of people and he does not care. Plus, we did see the picture on Instagram of he's in a hotel. He pans over to the right, has a golden plate that says Elite on it, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh. He's
Come
like,
on.
nah, I'll just re-sign for 5 more years. Nah, I
Come
got
on,
you all.
Randy.
He worked us. But okay. The other thing is do you think with what AEW is trying to do, would Orton fit in?
Yeah.
I think it's
Honestly,
debatable.
I think Randy Orton is in the peak of his career right now. I think he would thrive in AEW.
But-
Granted, what Cody has said multiple times.
But AEW, there's a lot of the flipping,
The flip
spots and stuff,
and he
fun
can just catch him out of the freaking
But also
air
in the
with
past,
RKO.
Orton has criticized that
Okay,
style on Twitter.
That's true. Orton has been outspoken about stuff like that. And I remember he also... Okay, a funny thing would be to imagine Jack Evans doing a 450 but getting RKO'd. Out of nowhere.
That'd be tough.
I don't know how the production would do it, considering AEW's production is not as strong as WWE's. So maybe it wouldn't look as good. But still, it won't happen. Orton's also teased him versus Ospreay.
I would kill to see that match.
Yeah, but it looks like it's not going to happen either. But Orton... I'm just not surprised. And also, he's also almost 40.
Yeah.
I think this might be his last ever contract too.
Yeah.
But it's Randy Orton. He's just gonna keep trolling us forever.
Swimming in money right now.
Yeah, he's living. He's fine. And
Randy.
it's Randy Orton. Who cares? But whatever. New contract. Going back to what we were talking about earlier with SmackDown last week, an NXT Invasion is here.
Hell yeah.
And it's been-
Hell yes.
And it's
Loved
so
it.
much fun.
It's
so
great.
sticking to the Saudi travel situation, that turned out to be one of the best stories of this entire year.
This is a great case of WWE making something out of nothing, turning water into wine, and having this great NXT storyline coming in with
Except-
Survivor Series coming up.
Except the spoilers from Monday. That was that was
which
a bad idea.
by the time this comes out, I think Raw might have happened. So let's go over the good things first. So, due to the travel issues of Saudi Arabia, SmackDown was very up in the air last week. So we had King Corbin versus Roman Reigns. We had the tag title match, which those guys were stuck in Saudi Arabia, and who's in the States? Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn, and
The Miz.
The Miz, and most of the women.
Yeah.
So it's we got to think on our toes here. So I think the way some of the NXT guys have described it, they were at home basically because Adam Cole's in Florida with Britt Baker at home. Shayna Baszler worked out in the gym that morning and really went hard because she knew she had the weekend off. Everybody else was probably just doing training at the Performance Center, and then they all get calls or emails from Triple H saying, "Hey, get ready, we're gonna fly you up to New York." At 2 in the afternoon or something like that. So they all get in the plane. I think it was around 5 o'clock. They leave. They land in New York at 7:55.
Where'd you hear all this? This is
Shayna Baszler in an interview described it.
nice.
So she said from there is that she said they got in a police escort to the arena. They pretty much get in, they check all their stuff. She comes to the front basically, and she gets to her spot right away for the Bayley segment. She runs through the crowd, does her spot. Like, that was the first thing she did when she got to the arena.
Wow.
Yep. So I think Triple H and HBK described it also. I think HBK flew in, and it said when he got there, it was like right when Brock was leaving. So he got there just in time to do like the look over your shoulder and see Brock leave spot.
Wow.
So Shawn also cut it really close too. I think Triple H was already there because he was in full suit and everything. So I think he was there the day of.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's like the story of how close that came to happening. Wow. So Adam Cole went from not knowing he had a match with Daniel Bryan at 2 p.m, hanging out with his girlfriend, to having a main event match on SmackDown like hours later.
What a
Which
hell of a
is
match.
why.
Oh, we want to do that now?
I mean, it's a good segue.
It is a good segue, but we're still also talking about the segment. So for those who know our accoladed award segment, Superstar of the Week, who else gets to be Superstar of the Week other than your NXT champion, Adam Cole?
Baby!
So this was a no-brainer, because I don't know who else it could have been. Like, I guess Fiend would have been another good
I
one.
was going to say, Fiend would be good.
But, like, there was nobody else after this storyline started to pick for our Superstar of the Week than Adam Cole, because it's just, wow. The match with Daniel Bryan was one of the best TV matches of the year.
I didn't even get to see
Best
it.
TV match in a long time.
Yeah, there's been some good TV matches like as of late, like across both AEW, WWE/NXT. But I think this one was probably the best one of the year so far. And there's not much time left in the year, so I might just take the cake as best TV match of the year. Yeah.
As someone who didn't see it, just that matchup alone sounds amazing.
Because they got like a half hour to work together. There were some breaks that did hinder it, like commercials got in the way at the wrong times. But that's just TV.
Yeah.
Like every TV program has that problem. So, but it was still a fun match, and the biggest shock of them all is Adam Cole won clean.
This is the first time Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan has ever met. Ever.
Really?
Ever in the ring. I
Well,
believe so.
Adam Cole is a lot younger than Daniel Bryan, I believe, right?
Yep.
Both are ROH sweethearts, too, so that's
But I think Bryan,
killer
when Cole was ROH, Bryan was WWE. So there's no way they could have met.
Yeah.
So that's crazy that those two probably called that entire match in the ring, too, considering how late Cole got to the arena.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then also not just SmackDown, Cole was on Raw. And he had a nice match with Seth Rollins, but it did get thrown out.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as good because there wasn't a proper finish. But still, like, that guy got to work with one of the top faces in the company and the former Universal Champion in a span of like 4 days.
Yeah.
And he also is featured in a prominent storyline for Survivor Series. And not just that, he still has NXT going on at the same time. So at NXT this week, they had the segment with the OC beating up the Undisputed Era.
Killer. Just
which was
amazing.
Bobby Fish getting thrown to the wall was, you could see all the,
amazing.
I think that was fake blood.
Probably.
It looked really brutal, but it looked great. But at the end of the night, when we're having the main event, which we'll talk more about later, you have the OC against Limitless Bros plus Ciampa. You have the segment where Finn Balor comes down, distracts Ciampa. AJ throws up the too sweet. He pulls up the finger guns. And then out of nowhere, Adam Cole comes in and beats up both AJ and Ciampa. He keeps continuity, too, for Ciampa, which is good because a lot of people's gripes with Survivor Series, they throw all the storylines out the window for Survivor Series.
If you were paying attention during SmackDown when Triple H was coming out and everyone at NXT was in the ring, you can see Ciampa just glaring at Adam Cole from across the ring, just not taking his eyes off of him, and I loved it.
Exactly. So it adds so much continuity to, like, NXT pays such close attention to detail, which is why it's like its storytelling is one of the best, I'd say, right now. I think probably the best with story because they've been around longer than most of their companies on TV right now. But yeah, Superstar of the Week, no question, is going to be Adam Cole. But sticking to the NXT invasion, we also had who else appeared on SmackDown? We had Ciampa come out.
Matt Riddle, Keith Lee.
Yeah, they attacked Sami Zayn. Sammy's like, "Oh yeah, those NXT guys, yeah, they're not great." And he's like, "Oh hi." And he's like, "Oh, I have my NXT shirt on." It's like, wait, no, it's just a black shirt. It's in my car. And then they follow them, and then Matt Riddle ran after him. It was a funny segment. And then he runs out to the arena. They meet in the ring, and then he just gets beat up. And I'm like, you know what, Sammy? You deserve that. And then there's that funny picture that Matt Riddle posted. It's him doing the bro Derek to Sammy, and he goes, this should have been Brock. Because at that point, Brock had left the building, and then everyone was joking online that, oh, you ran away from Matt Riddle, which was a funny joke. We had Shayna Baszler show up, which she attacked Bayley, which has then set up the triple threat match, which we'll talk more about later when we talk about Raw as well. We had Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox. If you look at the nameplates for when they came out, they spelled Knox wrong. They spelled it like Mike Knox, and I'm like, oh. But, her name hasn't changed or anything. It's just a typo on Kevin Dunn's part. They quickly beat Fire and Desire, and Sonya Deville's leg hit Renee in the face, if you guys look closely.
Yeah, I saw that.
I felt really bad. We had... Was that it for NXT people? Everyone came out at the end, too.
And Ciampa, it was a surprise guest on Miz TV.
Yep.
And then the impromptu match where...
It was a nice match.
Ciampa beat Miz, yeah.
In camo pants.
Yeah.
He won in camo pants, and I'm like, you know what? Good for Ciampa. And he felt like more like heel Ciampa, too, when he was talking to him. It was like it was a nice sight to see
technically
it back.
a face right now.
Miz is a goodie. And it was nice seeing like shades of heel Ciampa back against Miz, and I'm like, you know what? This is why we all love him so much too.
I'm not convinced that Ciampa's a face now. I think he's just riding out this face momentum.
I think he
because he
wants
got
Goldie.
back super ahead of time of his surgery recovery time.
It's incredible.
So I think once he inevitably wins back the title, we're gonna see him go back to being plain old Ciampa. Maybe even a bold prediction I have, maybe with 4 new buddies.
Ooh, a new stable?
Well. Remember that he was ROH champion.
Do you think they'll do that?
I think that this is all a work, and I think that Ciampa's going to join the Undisputed Era. But
that's insane.
No,
that'd be a huge
now
work.
That he's done with Johnny, what else are they going to do?
No,
yeah, Johnny's busy right now too.
Yeah.
No, I think he's on his own.
I think he works better on his own.
Yeah,
but like that's
I do
a
too,
really
but
cool sight.
what if he just says, "Hey Cole, I'm the leader now. I am the captain."
He looks at it's a Nexus thing all over again. But that might happen with Cole and Roddy though. To be fair, if that whole dissension thing they teased earlier in the year happens, which who knows what's going to happen at this point.
The long-term booking.
We'll go over. That was it for SmackDown. Probably the best SmackDown of like in recent memory. I can't think of any other SmackDowns that were as good as that one. Maybe some last year, but I can't think of many other ones.
It's the best SmackDown I've seen in a while.
I agree. It was awesome. And then so when Raw happened, and it was less NXT involved because the talent was actually there this time, but we still had some cool moments. We had the Seth Rollins promo, which was interrupted by Triple H, which it was a really good Triple H promo. It was a really good promo, and it was a lot of continuity in Seth's time with Triple H in NXT. He was NXT champion for the first. He was the first ever champion.
Yeah.
Yep, when he beat Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal.
That was the first person he beat for it. He was the Authority was played up when Seth was WWE champion. The 2017 Mania match was played up too. When Seth when Seth had nowhere else to go. I think then it was Raw to now. So Triple H says, you ask what's next for Seth Rollins? Well, I do. And then out from the crowd comes the Undisputed Era. It was a really cool moment. So all 4 of them were there this time. It was just Roddy on SmackDown. But they're all standing there looking at Seth, and I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this is how you get people to know who these people are. So then the match is made for later. In between then, we had it was a sit-down interview with Becky Lynch where she's talking to me and Charlie Caruso. And then Shayna's like, Charlie, can I just take your chair real quick? And she sits down. It's like a 2.5-minute segment where they just talk to each other. Like, it's like a whole different way of how Shayna sees Bayley compared to her. I think it's like a thing where she actually respects Becky because she beat her best friend Ronda, where it's like she doesn't care for Bayley, but they've established that they're going to keep their eye on Bayley. So it's this really interesting element of like there's these 3 champions and they don't want to overlook each other at the same time, and they all see each other in different ways. That was a really good segment. And then we had the main event, of course, which was Seth and Adam Cole. Fun match. Not as good as SmackDown, but I think they also had less time. It then ended in a schmoz because Undisputed Era grabbed Seth by the legs and then match got thrown out. But then we had a big brawl in the show. Keith Lee did a Tope Con Hero, and I'm like, nice, because it's Keith Lee. Yeah, and then it carried over to NXT. We had the aforementioned pre-taped segment where OC beat up the Era before the show.
Did anyone else notice when Bobby Fish was slammed into that metal thing or whatever?
Yeah, the blood.
You spit. It was ketchup though, because you saw they were at catering. There was a bottle right there.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't notice that. I thought it was
But still, it was pretty funny.
It was really well done, to be fair. So then AJ says that's what we call a receipt, and then they kick off the show with the OC coming down like, oh, this is NXT, and they make fun of the people, and then we get the main event happen, which we already talked about. And yeah, last night on SmackDown, we pretty much had a repeat of the Shayna run-in against Bayley, which I think was meant for that show. So they didn't really nothing new was there. And then Imperium showed up. Imperium attacked Heavy Machinery last night. It was cool, but given the time this will come out, we know what's happened on Raw, and
Dumb.
So for those who have seen Raw, by the time this comes out, you all have seen Imperium show up. Are you okay with hearing about this?
I was gonna say spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert, but by the time this comes out, Raw will have happened.
It's fine.
So Imperium showed up again on Raw. They confronted Seth Rollins, who threw up an open challenge to the UK's best. So obviously Imperium's going to show up because Walter. Walter and Seth have a match. It gets thrown because of DQ because Imperium attack Seth. And then Street Profits and Kevin Owens make the save. Then they have a 4v4, and Imperium lose. Eichner gets pinned by Seth Rollins.
I mean, at least it was Eichner.
Yeah, because you can't have your UK champion get pinned.
You can't have Walter get pinned in general.
And, especially on a random episode of Raw, so you can't have that happen. So luckily, but still, it's like you have 4 random guys who have never teamed before beat an established faction like Imperium/Ring Conf. Why?
I was gonna say we've been more even outside of WWE. We have a lot of history together.
Exactly. Even though it may have not been the same faction, No, it's exceptions there here and there. It's still not the best look, and they've done a lot of. They did a lot of this booking where like random superstars beat established teams. This like over the course of the past couple of days. So because they also had Fire and Desire lose to Carmel and Dana Brooke last night, which is like, come on. And you also had on Raw, I think another instance happened where I forget who also lost. I think another team of 2 superstars lost to some other team. But, they've been having this gripe happen a lot, and it's just not a good look for the tag division. No. NXT, they're better about it, of course, because they actually have the champions go over in those instances. But, it's that gripe with booking where it's just not great. But
I think they were worried that, like, Seth couldn't take another loss because, like, he's been having issues. Just in general, Seth's been having issues. But honestly, yeah, Imperium should have won because they would have
they should.
Because I know they're biled as bad guys, but they're in the UK, so they're going to get over instantly.
They're going to be over with the crowd because it's the UK, and the UK crowds have watched Walter for years.
And it would have left them a lot happier.
Because it's also what made the first episode with the NXT Invasion so good, is that the NXT talent beat the main roster talent.
Yes.
Which is why it was so effective in helping NXT get all these eyes on the product to get more people to watch the show, which worked really well for them this week. If we're going to talk about ratings, but I don't care about ratings most of the time. So, yeah, I just thought, what's going on? Because, you could have established 4 more guys in NXT Invasion to get people to watch NXT UK. But no, we're just going to have Eichner lose. It's like, come on, dude. Because, like, Imperium are very much in the storyline with Gallus on NXT UK, which, all right, but I don't know what else they're going to do. I thought they were going to do War Games for this because it's a 4v4, but there's no way that they're going to do 3 War Games matches. No, there's no way. That's too much time.
Overkill.
That'll kill the crowd, too, with, like, all that action. So if there's another NXT UK takeover, they might, maybe. It's going to be probably Glasgow is my guess. We don't know. We haven't heard anything about NXT UK takeover. It might be announced at War Games or sometime soon. My guess they're going to do it like January or February next year. But, other than that, the NXT Invasion is still ongoing at time of recording. So aside from that, we have our Survivor Series matches. We have a couple matches announced. We have the tag team match between the new champions, the New Day. I'm going to call them the War Raiders because that's what they are to me.
The Viking Raiders.
War Raiders to me. And the Undisputed Era.
Fish and O'Reilly. Red Dragon.
I'm excited for that. It sucks that the Revival won't be in it, but if you look at that match, what it was a very NXT takeover match.
Yeah.
But, the crowd would like that because this is going to be this crowd will have seen TakeOver the night before, so they're going to be in very NXT support already. But of course,
I think it's a pretty good decision on their part to actually get established WWE guys
like the New Day
who've been on the main roster for a long time go up against the newcomers.
Because the Raiders are still pretty new.
Yeah,
they've only been there a couple months at this point. They've done really well for themselves since like their early struggles of the naming and everything. But the Era, of course, they've been there for a while, but they haven't done anything else aside from NXT stuff. But I think if we're going to establish NXT as threats, I think as of right now, and it's not an official prediction, I think Bobby and Kyle are going to win this.
So
ignore that. Sam just came back in the room. But other announced matches for Survivor Series, we have the traditional matches, which I'm surprised they're still doing the 5v5v5.
Well, they have to. Oh, the 15 men.
Yeah, 15-man tag match for each of the 3 shows. It's a lot of people. It's a lot. I'm really curious to see how they're going to book this, especially for the guys.
I say let's just do 5 on 5 on 5 on 5 and throw 205 live in there.
Or NXT UK. Or NXT UK would team with NXT.
Or 5 on 5 on 5 on 5 on 5.
25 men.
6-sided ring.
Oh my! Yeah, you need the TNA ring at that point.
Yeah.
But we don't know the teams right now. Only thing that's been announced is that Seth Rollins is the captain of Team Raw for the guys, and Sasha
really?
Banks.
I actually didn't know that.
That was like announced this morning. So, and then SmackDown Women, we have Sasha Banks as the captain of SmackDown, and then it's Carmella and Dana Brooke who won their way on last night on SmackDown. NXT has no announcements as of yet. Raw has no announcements as of yet of who's on their women's teams. And the men's, we don't know about SmackDown and NXT yet.
NXT women's team, if Dakota doesn't go on Team Shayna, Dakota Kai could lead Team
Yeah,
NXT.
because they have a very diverse women's division. Of course, they're already busy with War Games, so I don't know who's going to be representing them. My guess is that we'll probably see... it's hard. Dakota?
Who's that new girl with the dreads?
Kaden Carter.
I see Kaden Carter.
Kaden Carter's really fun. It's hard to say.
Piper Niven?
I love to see Piper Niven on a main stage. I think she's great. Maybe Kaylee Ray?
Kaylee Ray, maybe.
We don't know about Tony Storm right now either.
Yeah, we don't know where Tony
No, I think she's still injured.
Which sucks. I thought she was going to be in War Games, but that's not to be. We don't know, but yeah, the Raw team, I think the Raw team for the women is going to be Charlotte as team captain.
Yeah.
Kabuki's.
Mm-hmm.
So Asuka, Jesus Christ, that team's already scary.
Yeah.
And then probably Natalya and one of the Iconics.
Or Lacey.
No, she's SmackDown.
Oh,
We went
Charlotte's
over this.
Raw now. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. She got drafted too. So Charlotte, Kabuki's, and Iconics maybe. That's 5 already. Or it's going to be Charlotte, Kabuki's, Natalya, and one of Iconics or Sarah Logan or Liv Morgan, whenever she wants to
That
show
would
up.
work because of how they sent Liv Morgan off to change her character.
Yeah, but she would go against Charlotte though, because I think that's going to be her feud whenever she decides to show up again. We don't know what's going on with her.
We don't know what's going on.
SmackDown, those last 2 spots are going to be Lacey and Tamina.
I hope not.
I don't know who else it could be.
Wait, so who is it? Sasha?
Sasha, and then Carmella and Dana won their way in by beating Fire and Desire, so they're out of the picture. So I think it's going to be
Ember Moon.
Injured.
Ember Moon.
Injured. Oh.
Is she?
Up to a year apparently.
What?
Yeah, not great. She wasn't in the draft either, so we don't know where she's going to go.
Oh, Nikki
So-
Cross.
Oh, Nikki.
Oh yeah, Nikki.
So
Cross.
Nikki and Lacey, there you go. And then NXT, there you go. Because the War Game situation really makes things weird for the people booked. Because I don't think Shayna's winning. She's going to be destroyed.
No, I think Shayna's winning. That's where I think
it's
that's
tricky
where we
though, because she's
differ.
going to be beat up.
In fact, my bold prediction is NXT is going to clean house.
I think they're going to win the night, but I don't think they win every match. They're going to win most of the
know.
matches. I think they're going to win, but
If they really
I mean,
want to put
I
the
don't
spotlight
think
on
it's
NXT
going to
right
be
now.
like last year when Raw did that clean sweep.
yeah, that's not going to happen
was
again.
dumb.
that was
clean. Xavier.
Except-
Xavier
okay.
Woods, and it was a DQ in the women's match because Charlotte went crazy. But I think it's gonna be like NXT win like 4, Raw wins 3, SmackDown wins 3, or something like that, or like it's like by 1 point. So they'll make them look strong. But I don't think for Kyle and Bobby, I think are gonna win. I think Roddy might win his match too if they do book that match. And then the Survivor Series match, I think
Are they
should be
going
NXT.
to do Roddy, Shinsuke, AJ?
I hope so. As of
That would
recording,
be
they have
great
not,
match.
It has not been announced yet, but I think they might. I think it's being played up to. It's either that or they're going to be in the tag match for the 5v5v5. So we don't know as of yet. But an invasion angle, it's interesting. It's brought a whole new dynamic. Of course, it was in the tapings. It wasn't really played up as much, considering it was a very general show. It looked like NXT UK show was cool, but oh yeah, that's right. NXT UK talent didn't do great on Raw, which is dumb because Webster and Andrews also lost to the Raiders.
Is the women's triple threat match the main event?
It might be. I think the men's tag will main event, but they've been building to the women's match on each show so far, not so much to the men's.
The advertisement is the women's
I was
match right
gonna say,
now,
I'm
just on the
looking at that
website.
advertisement.
It makes sense because you have one of your biggest stars in the match, and Bailey's been making strides, and Shayna's a big deal.
That's the biggest
In
match.
that case, I think Shayna's going to win. I definitely
yeah.
No, I
Shayna's
think something.
gonna
If it's going to main event, something big might happen at the return of Rousey,
win. Oh,
Possibly.
God, that would be
Oh,
perfect.
she'd help out Shayna, and then
or Duke and
And then
Shafir.
4
No, Duke and
horsewomen's.
Shafir aren't in War Games either.
they aren't.
No, they
They'll
aren't.
be on the tag team.
Yeah, they'll show. Well, oh yeah, they also might help Shayna if Ronda's not there,
Yeah.
which might bring out Charlotte and Sasha too.
Oh, stop.
This is long term booking.
You know, I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
I don't. It's
Stop.
hard to say who's going to win because I don't know.
I don't even think there's going to be a clear winner at this point.
No
'cause I
contest
think
again.
Two horsewomen. Oh no, dude!
Don't do a no contest again.
This is definitely going to be.
It's gonna be a schmoz, but it's gonna be
the
a good schmoz.
horsewomen versus the horsewomen. No.
If Ronda's finger injury hopefully is better now because she almost lost a finger.
If we get horsemen versus horsewomen, can we get Adam Page as the special
Coming out on a
referee?
horse, comes down on a horse. you AEW won't let that happen though. Unfortunately, that'd be hilarious.
R.I.P. Hunter Horse Helmsley.
Oh yeah. Everyone press your F's in chat for Hunter Horse Helmsley at this grim hour. Yeah, it's weird because if that does main event, something big is clearly going to happen. So it's weird because we're in a situation where like all 3 champions can't
really lose right now.
Yeah, which sucks because we know what happened on Raw. Becky got pinned by Asuka. But hey, that's a narrative, isn't it?
Wait, did that really happen?
Yeah, the narrative is that Becky can't.
Nice.
Well, no, distraction. So here's what happened. So Shayna was at ringside. She got attacked by Bayley because Bayley obviously has been beat up by Shayna twice now.
Yeah.
So Becky sees that. Like she's in the ring. They're right next to her. She's like, oh, what's going on here? She starts mouthing off to them. Asuka rolls her up 1, 2, 3.
I did hear that Asuka might be the one to beat Becky.
Or do a challenger next. So there is a story it's like the story where Becky can't beat Asuka because Asuka's always beaten her.
Yeah.
So it's a very good story to tell.
That is
I think that's her TLC match because if it's a TLC match, Asuka doesn't get pinned. Keeps her strong, you know.
It's true.
So I think it's
They
August
better not make
Asuka.
her freaking tap again.
That was bad.
That was
When she tapped out to Natalya. That was really bad.
tapped out to Charlotte.
And Natalya on Raw last week.
What?
Yep, it was not good. I was mad. I was really mad.
What? Big dumb.
because the Kabuki Warriors are an interesting position right now where they get built up and then they lose randomly. I'm like, come on, man. It's Asuka and Kairi Sane.
It's just this crappy 50-50 booking.
Yeah, which I don't like. It's good that they're gonna get their heat back kind of on Monday, but even though it's not really a clean win. But I think if there's something going on with the Asuka situation, which is good that she's getting pushed more because she does deserve it. But it's gonna be weird because if they lose the tag belts and Asuka's gonna lose to Becky at TLC, what's gonna happen from there? They might still be champions for all we know by then.
I'm tired of seeing. I know you disagree. I'm just so tired of seeing Becky as champ at this point.
Okay.
It's like
Look at the offense on his face.
Like it's not that I hate Becky Lynch, but it's just another one of those cases. I think of the mega face being pushed too hard. You know what I mean?
I disagree because people actually still support her, unlike Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins.
No, and yeah, like I get it. Like I just personally am just. I'd love to see a new champion at this point because I think there's some other people that need a title belt at this point. I mean, Becky Lynch is already, let's see, 2-time SmackDown Women's Champ. Three-time SmackDown.
We can count the Mania win. That's 3.
And you got people like Nikki Cross who haven't won a singles title yet.
Well, she's on SmackDown though.
But I'm just using for reference.
But like Bayley, well, she could beat Bayley. I don't know if she'll beat Bayley eventually. I think Sasha might be the one to beat Bayley.
I think anybody could beat Bayley at this point. Like,
even with the new character.
It's not that I don't like it. I just never taken Bayley like as a competitor. Like that sounded harsh. I just haven't. I like the new character, but I think it's one of those things that's slowly gonna grow on me. You know.
I think it's working. She's been more interesting than she has been like all year.
I think she's still trying to find herself.
It's also they should have pulled that trigger like
a while ago,
3 years ago.
Yeah,
like,
it's working for her at least.
It's working. Like good
she just has to keep going basically. With the Raw situation, it's weird because like who do you build up at this point? Because like Charlotte's gonna be busy probably putting other people over at this point.
Yeah, it also doesn't help. Like the only other form because there's good competitors in the women's Raw roster.
Natalya already lost, but
already lost. You have Charlotte, who's busy. Most likely competitor,
who's gonna be busy. It looks like. She's also a good guy now.
Who else you got here? We got Kabukis.
Kabukis
we got Liv Morgan. If anybody's gonna do it, if we have anybody on this list, it's got to be Liv Morgan with whatever character she.
I think she's going after Charlotte first, though.
But exactly
to build her up.
You need to build her up first. You can't do the Lacey Evans throw
exactly.
into her feud because that was a bad idea.
The Iconics.
No. As much as I love them, but no. Who else?
Maria Kanellis. No, she's pregnant.
Yeah, no. Naomi's on leave right now. We don't know where she's going to go either.
Nia Jax when she comes back from injury.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, and yeah, actually, that might be exactly who's going to beat Becky.
Oh, no, that's bad.
It'd be good storytelling.
Ruby Riott would be cool, actually.
When she returns from injury.
Yeah, we don't know where Ruby's going to go either, though.
Sarah Logan.
So, yeah, she hasn't been around.
And Zelina Vega.
Vega, yeah. She's kind of busy right now with the Sin Cara thing.
Vega's going to be with Andrade for a hot minute.
Yeah, and they're doing stuff there. I think it might be an NXT call-up if it's not anybody else. And I think if you're going to do somebody, Shayna could make sense if they're going to keep this angle going. Mm-hmm. She has to lose the title first, obviously.
Shayna beats Becky, that could be cool.
It makes sense because like that continues the horseman angle.
Or she can just do what Asuka did and just release the title or relinquish.
I think because I think Rhea's beating Shayna.
Oh yeah, Rhea's definitely beating Shayna.
That's your next NXT Women's Champion. Sticking to the women, actually, I think that's a good segue. Evolution 2 is being teased.
Yeah,
so for those, there's been some interviews done with some of the women. Natalya did an interview with TalkSport, which is I think just a general press release magazine, and she said there's a lot of opportunities coming for the women right now, and I think I could see right now Evolution 2 is right around the corner. So no time estimate or frame on it, but she seems to be foreshadowing it's going to happen. So it's like, all right, that's cool. So I don't know when it would be. Because Stephanie,
I couldn't even begin to book that.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know when it is. If it does happen, Stephanie has said it won't be in 2019 when she did an interview. So probably 2020. Yeah. Probably spring.
Next summer, maybe.
Summer, maybe. Yeah, we don't know just yet, so it really depends when they announce it, if we can really book it, because we don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know.
Survivor Series, we're in the middle of that, so...
We could have an entirely new roster by 2020.
Another draft, or whatever they're going to do, and NXT...
Superstar shakeup.
That's still a thing, yeah. And then anyway, for NXT, that makes the lateral move over. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know where Shayna will be by then. We don't know who the champions even will be. So, yeah, other notes, tidbits to this... notably, Charlotte, Natalya, Bliss, Sasha, and the Bella Twins. We're at the PC filming promo work. But, it's the Bella Twins, guys. They're a big deal, apparently.
No, it's because they have a reality TV show.
And one of them dated John Cena, and one of them
was engaged and then broke up with John Cena.
Yeah, oof, now one not of them great. Is married to Daniel Bryan.
Just imagine it's gonna kind of sound dickish, but just imagine like your failed engagement and he proposed to you at WrestleMania. Just kind of just thinking
and
about
then,
that.
And then it never happened.
And then nothing came from it. It's like, oh.
Oof. I mean, look, no one's. I mean, I don't think anybody foreshadowed that was going to happen to them in real life, though.
No.
But it
still.
does suck.
Randy's backstage like, I give it a week.
Randy, I bet Randy was like probably talking to people about that, and then it didn't happen. One last tidbit is that in interviews, once Becky has stated that even without Ronda Rousey, they can have Evolution because I think
Oh my god.
yeah.
their gripe, the WWE's like issue, I guess, with not doing is because they don't have the star power in Rousey, but like you realize the rest of the women you have are still big deals, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
We can have another NXT Women's Championship match. We can have an NXT UK Women's
Yeah,
Championship
they were
match.
on the card last year for the first one. They had a dark match for the UK title.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't even on the show because it wasn't like officially announced then because it was still like in tapings back then. So now that they actually have the title, they can do stuff. They can build storylines. They have all this time on TV to do it. So I don't know what's keeping. I guess it's just we don't have Ronda. It's like who cares? Yeah. I've said the opinion that I don't want Ronda Rousey back.
You got along great with before you got Ronda, and you're getting along great without her.
Yeah, so. You're fine.
You're doing okay.
You're doing better right now because Survivor Series has a cool build to it at least. But
now they're on the road to WrestleMania. It's gonna get a little better.
Plus the Rumble's gonna happen. So yeah, so they'll start building them too. Sticking to women, the PWI Women's 100 has been released. So the PWI lists are typically in kayfabe. Yeah, they're very kayfabe lists. They're mainly built off accomplishments more than like actual ring ability. If so, it'd be a whole different list probably. But we'll go through. I guess we'll do the top 10. We'll go from ascending or descending order. From it's descending 10 to 1 or is that ascending?
Ascending's going up, descending's going down.
All right, well, dummy, it's in ascending order. So number 10, so there's some names that I'm not as familiar with. I think number 10 is the one I don't know the most. Nicole Savoy, I think she's the Shimmer champion. I don't know much about her. I've heard good things, but she's the champion in Shimmer. The rest of these we all know fairly well. Mercedes Martinez, she is a very indie legend. She also appeared at All Out in the pre-show Battle Royal.
She was on AEW this week.
On Dark, yeah, she was on Dark. So I don't know if she's signed.
She's not signed.
I think she's just kind of doing free dates until she finds a deal somewhere. She's also been in the Mae Young Classic before. She's
2 years, both years.
Yep, both years. Did pretty well, and I think the second one especially, she did really well for herself. She's just an indie legend at this point. Number 8, Io Shirai. Yeah. I think she's gonna be up in the top 5 next year.
She'll probably beat Rhea.
Especially with this her new
new character has been well needed.
Did anybody else see that freaking amazing entrance with Poppy?
Yeah, that was amazing. I was watching them I'm like, wow, the production of NXT is like wow, that whole AEW.
That's how you start a wrestling show.
Yeah, I'm watching like AEW can't even touch this. I'm sorry, and they didn't. As much as I love their production too.
I would disagree with that, but no.
Yeah, the vignette. I'm like, the vignette was good, but
the vignette was so great.
We'll get to that. We'll talk about the Wednesday Night Wars in a bit. 7, weird one. Natalia was at 7. And I'm like, in kayfabe, I guess she won a lot of matches because she had like some pay-per-view matches. It's like
she's not bad.
She's good. It's
she's good.
Just not interesting.
I just don't care.
It's Natalia.
It's just good hand. Good on you.
I will never forget her as the girl who farted.
And killed Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Number 6, Bayley, who I thought should have been in the top 5.
Yeah, I agree.
Bayley's she's won a lot, even though like weird booking aside. She first ever women's tag champion. SmackDown Women's Champion 2-time, Money in the Bank winner.
Put on like a 5-star match with Sasha Banks.
I mean, that's not in this year, but
yeah. I'm just saying.
Just in general career. I thought she should have been in the top 5, but I mean the top 5 it's kind of hard to argue except for number 3. Number 5, Tessa Blanchard of Impact.
Yeah.
So someone who has made a lot of history in her own way, as she said, looked at as like the new China in a way, but she also does really well against the women.
I would disagree with that.
Yeah, no, but that's what I hear. I don't. Yeah. It's like I just don't want her to become that because she's not making history her own way. She's just another China.
She's just promoting the intergender.
But she still fights women. She does still fight women.
Like in my opinion, all wrestling should be like anybody could challenge for any title. Like,
yeah, once you Seth Rollins, it's not realistic. That's what Seth said about intergender wrestling in the summer.
Give me a break, Seth.
Yeah, but I think she was like top 15 last year, so she made. I think she moved like 10 spots, which is good. She has been making good push. Knockouts champion, had some good matches with Taya Valkyrie, won the AAA title, but then quickly lost it not too long after that, and is now going to challenge Sami Callihan for the world title.
Probably going to beat Sami Callihan.
I don't know if she will right away. I think she will eventually.
Well, they've already had a match before.
They've had 3. She's lost each one of them. So maybe this one will be it, or maybe
I think this one will be it.
it's either this one or they might do it at the one night show, Mania weekend.
I think they didn't want to have her go against Brian Cage because Brian Cage is like
Jacked.
an inhumane man who can put like even like the biggest of guys like in the fucking hospital.
Apparently they've had a match too, and someone said it was
I think
really
they
good.
have,
yeah,
yeah.
someone said they had a match somewhere and it was really good. And I'm like, oh, that could have been cool to see
Also,
on
I
TV.
think Brian Cage is kind of injured right now.
Yeah, he's kind of taking a back seat right now. Number 4, the aforementioned NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler.
Amazing.
Not surprised. No, she has been winning for the past year. Has not really lost a match. I don't think she's even lost a match.
She hasn't lost, she hasn't lost
Like
the
been
title
pinned.
match.
She hasn't been pinned, basically.
Yeah.
Can I guess the top 3?
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, Rio.
No.
No, Rio's not even top 20.
What?
Rio is like, where's Rio on this? I'm going to control F. Rio is 43.
Who's number 3?
Ronda Rousey.
Oh, come on.
This is a big disagree because like Ronda, she's been gone most of the judging period, but to be fair, she only lost 1 match. And she was wrong.
I can tell you these next 2. Is
Well,
it one Charlotte Flair and one Becky Lynch?
Yeah, Charlotte's number 2.
Yeah,
and, well,
that's what I thought.
number 1's kind of obvious because it's like who else had a year like she did?
Yeah.
And Charlotte is also just like really good, and she had some really good matches in this judging period, except for like she kind of tapered off after Mania, where she was just like she was hanging about and having matches, losing a lot. But yeah, number 1, it's kind of like you had no choice, otherwise it would have been like backlash everywhere. But
I mean, not
it's like you can't really pick anybody else. To be fair, it's like the year she had, it's kind of like undeniable. Sorry, Tessa, but yeah, that was so. I guess other notable placings. Toni Storm was number 13, so she wasn't too far behind. Asuka was number 11.
Sasha Banks is 14.
Sasha was gone for a while, so it's like that kind of hurt her placing. If she was like active all year, she could have been top 10.
Yeah.
Kairi Sane omitted from this list. That was an error. Apparently, she was supposed to be number 16. Taya Valkyrie, current Impact champion, number 15. So she's been really dominant this year. Bea Priestley, number 20.
Nice.
Former Stardom champion at this point. Let's see the other ones. Ember Moon was 27. Sue Young was 31. Rhea Ripley, number 35. I thought she should have been higher.
Yeah.
Who was number 500?
It's only 100.
It's 100.
Who's 100?
Chris Statlander.
No idea.
I have no idea who it is.
The lowest WWE women's wrestler is Isla Dawn at 96.
Well, I saw Scarlett Bordeaux at 89, but she just got signed. To be fair, who else is pretty? Mandy Rose is who's 69. Jessamine Duke, 69.
Yeah, Matt Riddle's like,
Grow up, guys.
Piper Niven 75. Okay,
she looks good. First one.
She's really good. If we're gonna be real. I think this is our last like WWE centric story. Performance Center additions. We had the announcement. Scarlett Bordeaux is now officially in the Performance Center. Shotzi Blackheart, she's an Evolve wrestler. She is now in the PC.
She's awesome.
Indy Hartwell, who I don't know much about, is.
I've heard she's good.
Yeah, I think she's like friends with Sasha. Like Sasha came to see her when she signed. I'm like, that's nice. She's in the PC and a new ref, Stephon Smith.
Nice.
He
a
ref.
ref.
Yeah, he's a ref apparently. He was a wrestler, but now he's a ref. So that's cool. So good for him. Scarlett has tweeted since then that she is going to continue making wrestling sexy.
Nice.
So the smoke show thing looks like it's going to stay, and I'm
Nice.
curious to see how they're going to do it. I guess like Mandy. They might make her like Mandy, except better because she can actually wrestle.
Yeah, sure. I just hope that this is just a one-way ticket for Killer Cross to stroll on in.
That's true because aren't they dating?
I'm pretty sure they're dating. I thought they were dating.
Good for Killer Cross. So good for him. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to that story. They just started up this week. So yeah, there they go. So we're gonna take a detour over to Japan, specifically New Japan, and Wrestle Kingdom is starting to take shape, and it looks exciting.
It looks amazing.
So we have, for those who don't know, Wrestle Kingdom is going to be 2 nights in January 4th and 5th. So the big takeaways that we've heard recently is that the Intercontinental title and the Heavyweight title will be defended on night 1.
Night 2. Oh, yeah.
Night 1, and then on night 2, there will be a big double champion determination match between the winners of both matches. So the contenders are going to be on the heavyweight side. You have Kota Ibushi against Okada. Mm-hmm. And then the IC title matches against Tetsuya Naito against Jay White, the champion. So the big storyline going into this is that Naito has said he wants to be a double champion since I think at the start of the year. So they've been playing at this long-term story for a good while now, and they're going to keep building towards that. And I think my pick is for Naito to win both belts, just to put the exclamation point on that story, and he finally gets the moment. I guess other ways they can do it, I could see Ibushi maybe winning.
I was about to say Ibushi because he's the younger star and he's coming up, and I just love Kota Ibushi and all his work.
It's true. Or they continue like pushing Okada as the big guy. I mean, it's Okada who will complain, really.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's gonna be Okada though. I really.
I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be Naito or maybe Ibushi.
Yeah.
Okada I'm fine with, but I think it's gonna be one of the other guys instead. I don't think it's gonna be Jay White. I think his time will come later on.
Yeah, I remember his heavyweight title run at the beginning of this year didn't go over so well.
Yeah, I heard people didn't like it. Then he lost at the
lost
Supercard.
his first defense.
Yeah, he lost at the Supercard to Okada. Okada's had the belt since. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
But if everything does go like the way we want it, it's just gonna be like rematches from the Supercard. You know, Ibushi and Naito, who are just gonna kick each other's heads off.
They're gonna. I hope none of them die.
And then Jay White and Okada again, because the losers are gonna fight each other the next night.
Losers are gonna fight each other on night 2, and I think the best situation is that it'll be Naito and Ibushi again. Hopefully no one dies, and then you'll have a rematch with the Supercard with nothing on the line this time. So maybe we'll kick off like another Chaos versus Bullet Club situation.
Oh, maybe.
Nice.
Maybe we'll see what happens there, because the Bullet Club are also booked on night 2 for a tag match against Roppongi 3K. Other than tidbits, we have Hiromu Takahashi is back from neck injury, and he'll be challenging Will Ospreay for the junior heavyweight title.
Yes.
So he came out and challenged Ospreay. I think it was Power Struggle. Is that the name of the show?
Recently. Yeah.
That's the guy with the red hair.
Yeah, he has like the cat plushies.
Yeah.
Daryl.
What's his name?
One's Daryl. He has a new one. He has a red one.
No,
now.
but what's the guy?
Hiromu Takahashi.
Hiromu
So just
Takahashi.
Takahashi.
Takahashi, not Tanahashi. We'll get to him
I was
in a
gonna say.
moment. We'll get to him in a moment. Yeah, they're gonna have a match. This is on night. Is this night 1?
Night 1.
This could be probably like the match of the night for night 1, maybe, because I think it's Will Ospreay. He's been a lot of people's wrestler of the year right now. He's been putting on stellar match with everybody.
Lifetime, if you're asking me.
Yeah, he's what, our age?
Yeah, well,
Not much older.
I was gonna say he's like 30s at least, I would say.
I think he's like late 20s, if anything.
Yeah,
So he's doing really well. I think he's gonna be a New Japan guy for a good while. I think he lives in Japan now with B. So
26.
yeah, he's settled at 26.
26.
Jesus Christ, that's sickening. Yeah, I think they're gonna have match of night 1, and then they won't be booked for night 2, obviously, as of right now. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think if Ospreay loses, he's gonna move up to heavyweight,
I can see it.
and he'll go for the heavyweight title. Probably in the G1. He might maybe go in the G1 next year.
Possibly.
Early days, but possibility. And then the last tidbit from New Japan is Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to be facing Chris Jericho
Night 2.
at Wrestle Kingdom in night 2. So I saw the video for this. It's the people playing Tanahashi's theme song like in a pretty much like a studio setting, and then you see each one get taken out of Judas effects, and then eventually it's
great.
Jericho and the Painmaker get up just like challenging Tanahashi, saying the Ace versus the Painmaker. And then the match was announced after that. So I'm interested by this. Depending on what happens at Full Gear tonight as of recording, will it be for the AEW title? Probably not, because New Japan doesn't want anything to do with that. But that'd be really cool for both promotions. I don't know who's going to win this. I'd imagine Tanahashi.
But I think if Jericho's still the AEW champion by that time, then
If they put the title on the line, that is. Which I don't know if they will.
I have some breaking news, by the way.
Breaking news to the podcast.
WWE Raw taping gets canceled.
Where?
The venue, Tyson Events Center in Sioux City, Iowa, for the December 17th taping of Raw, announced the show has been canceled due to a scheduling conflict.
Maybe they're Raw that week then?
There's a rumor
Is that the
apparently they're giving people time off for the holidays, which
I heard they're getting Christmas off.
They always
I
do.
think they are getting
So
Christmas off.
extended break. They could kind of use that,
But
though.
Christmas
They
on a
need
Wednesday,
that.
so are they still going to have NXT or do like a taping or like a
They're gonna
best
do it.
of?
They're actually gonna do a taping.
I'll
that
probably do
night.
like a best of NXT kind of.
Or yeah, like a recap show of like, oh yeah, here's the awards for this year, yada yada yada. There's not gonna be a Dynamite that week because I think the AEW will obviously get the time off too because they're good at scheduling as well. But yeah, speaking of AEW and NXT, let's check in on the Wednesday Night Wars. So since the last episode, we've had the Charleston, West Virginia episode of Dynamite and the one from what was it? Was it Nashville this week? No, it was Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So we've had those 2 episodes in NXT. We had pretty much the Invasion episode, which we talked about earlier, and the week where Finn Balor called out Gargano. That main event, what was the main event that week? Was it? Oh, it was Limitless Bros against the Era in the Era 1. So both shows, some tidbits from the last 2 weeks. SCU won the tag titles in a nice match. I just didn't like the ending.
The ending fell flat.
It felt really flat because like
Just a rolling pin, and
Yeah,
you could
and
even
then-
hear the crowd going like, "Oh, okay."
Apparently Carolina, whoever that was.
Oh, the first one with Sin Cara.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was random.
I saw that lasted for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, that
Boy,
didn't
was
last
I
long.
right.
But yeah, sticking to Dynamite, we had that happened, and then we had Cody's promo from this week, which was really well received.
Amazing.
Really good promo.
10 out of 10, 5-star promo.
Thank you, Meltzer.
I still think Moxley's was better.
They're
from the
both
week
no,
before.
both were excellent. I liked both of them a lot, and plus Balor's promo from last week was really good in NXT front as well. Yeah, I enjoyed both. People say it's the best promo of the year.
I'd say.
It's
I don't
definitely a
think
contender.
so.
It's definitely a
It's kinda-
contender.
Because it's real. It wasn't him. It wasn't him.
It's just
doing
it's
that.
Cody the person talking to you.
Cody Runnels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the guy behind the character
With
talking.
Mox plays the character very
He's
well.
amazing in his character.
Like, so by that means, like, he delivers some of the best promos ever. But Cody just put so much heart behind it. And you could hear Cody, like, about to just break down. And, like...
His voice cracked.
Again, he was talking from the heart. It wasn't a gimmick. It wasn't...
When he mentioned his
character
parents,
work.
that's when his voice got really, like, emotional and
Because
everything.
the freaking... Because I can't say the F word on stream.
PG-13.
Yeah, PG-13. Because freaking... He's a goddamn Rhodes. That name just carries so much weight.
And they were in the South, too. It's really important down there.
Carolinas.
Yeah, it's really big down
Dusty
there.
was more based in Florida, though.
That's true, but still, that's
It's
down
still the
south.
South.
Yeah.
That's a big wrestling area. Speaking to that same show, the Inner Circle vignette. Wow.
Amazing.
One of the funniest things I've seen in a long
the
time.
youngest AEW
AEW
He's in the prime of his career at 48 years old. And then Soul Train Jones, a.k.a. Virgil, said Chris Jericho's potential is like on the Olive Garden breadsticks. Unlimited. He nodded his head and everything after that, and it was hysterical.
And then Jake Hager just
Jake
standing there
Hager
not
just
saying anything.
just the camera pans on him. He's just like straight
I'm fine
face,
with
not saying a word. He's like, eh? He just didn't say anything. It was
Big
so
hurt.
funny. Yeah, his caption was "Big Hurt." MMA fighter Jake Hager making a statement.
And then Chris Jericho's like, Cody, he has to go all these meetings, worry about interviews. All I got to worry about is where's the best place to get the bubbly.
Yeah,
I've literally been seeing Jericho been doing interviews like all week though.
Yeah,
And,
he-
like,
Yeah,
everywhere.
and he was on
he's
like
doing a lot of
NBA
PR
tonight.
Yeah, using NBA stuff for TNT. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
He literally had an interview with like Trump's son.
Which is random.
On his podcast.
Yeah, for
Jericho
Talkie's
podcast.
Jericho, sponsored by Omaha Steaks.
Omaha Steaks.
But yeah, they had a lot. It was a really funny promo. It was just a big rib at Cody and Brandy's promo from like a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, but it was done so well. And they had like word for word, like so many like spoofs from that promo.
It was
The beginning
so
when Sammy walks in, hey Chris, we got $2 for the bubbly here. We have low calorie, or this one has more flavor to it. And Jericho was just like, okay, stands up and kisses Sammy on the forehead,
Yeah.
and then he walks away. It's like, wow. And then he's like, they did the bath thing where it's like the blue light bathroom. He's just sitting in the tub with his
This is a
scarf
scarf.
on. Who wears a scarf? He's wearing a scarf right there. It was just it was really well produced too. Was the best part of it. Just looked so.
It was great.
It was so funny. It's one of the best parts of the show.
I don't think Jericho can do no wrong.
He can't.
He can't.
It's Chris Jericho.
It's Chris Jericho. I don't think he cares anymore.
I know.
He's
I
just
think
having
he
fun.
cares. That's why
He's
it's
just
so
having
good.
fun.
I think he
Well,
cares.
He
That's
can
why.
he can do what he wants basically. He's not
He
really,
cares, but he realizes that he can make jokes and he shouldn't be serious.
Everything that
as,
Jericho
like-
says is a meme.
Yeah.
At this point.
It's not like he's Jim freaking Cornette and
Jesus
has to-
Christ. It makes unpopular opinions that don't go over very well with people. Welcome to the IWC. Other than tidbits from Dynamite, Kenny Omega and Moxley is now unsanctioned. It's now being
Amazing.
called a lights out match. Moxley was very unhappy.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, it makes sense. No, because it plays up the fact that wins and losses matter. And I love the part where they did. I think it was for the West Virginia show where Moxley is mad backstage. He goes into Tony Khan's office and complains about it. He's like, "Oh, you're worried I'm going to beat your boy? You're not going to make a count?" And all those whole things. He had another good promo. About
Oh,
it.
they're not going to make the match count?
It's unsanctioned.
It's unsanctioned. Lights out.
AW's not responsible for any of it. Moxley was pissed about it, as he rightfully should. So
And he I mean, technically, his record, what is it, like 1-1?
So
he's
Kenny's
1-0-1 in
Kenny's
singles
definitely
action.
going to win, probably.
No, I think Moxley's. We'll get to that in a bit because we're almost done with talking about the Wednesday Night Wars. We'll finish this part first. We're going to the next bit.
Moxley here. If we pull him up.
Oh, I didn't know the stats
just
on the
passed
website.
him.
Just
Yeah.
pass him to.
We're on the website
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
1-1-1, and he's had like 5 matches, but most of them been
I don't think
unsanctioned.
the Janelle match didn't count.
And you heard in his promo, he's like, AEW won't sanction me.
They're putting me in my little
Because
box over here, make sure I don't make any trouble. That was a really good promo. But yeah, he makes you agree with him about so many things. He has logic in his promos.
Yeah.
He has actual logic. It's like, yeah, we're gonna side with him because I think the guy just needs. This needs something big, and I think tonight might be the night for him at the time of recording.
The most violent match we've seen in decades in the United States.
It's gonna be tonight.
It's
gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna close the show.
You know, Renee is.
Renee's gonna be at home screaming.
I kind of hope it doesn't, so they have enough time.
What if it opens the show?
Oof.
That might. It's actually not a bad idea.
They have enough time because with pay-per-views, you know.
No, they put it on the buy-in.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Jericho is 6-0. Holy crap.
Oh yeah.
He's champion, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
He hasn't been pinned or anything. He kind of makes sense. Speaking of Kenny Omega dressed as Sans. Amazing. So people who obviously if you're Jim Ross, you have no idea what this means. You didn't even know what to say. Excalibur was the one who played it up, and it was pretty funny. But there was that whole hype package before, if like the New Japan logo came up in like the Undertale fashion. It was really cool. So it adds to the effect that something's going on with him, and it pays the whole fact that if he loses tonight, he could become the cleaner again, or he might come as the cleaner tonight.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
I think they show up as the cleaner, and he'll have the New Japan entrance, which would be really cool. They played the whole fact of Kota Ibushi, the whole Golden Lovers thing was brought up, and the illusions were gone away, and then he came out as Sans, and then Matt and Nick were Ken and Ryu. Good moment. It was a fun episode.
Oh, I didn't know they counted trios victories. They're definitely gonna put a trios title in then, probably.
Eventually, they need more teams first, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah, so they'll keep working on that. That's enough for the AEW side. NXT side, we already talked about the invasion stuff, but the big thing for NXT is, as Regal would say, War Games. So yeah, NXT Takeover War Games has 2 War Games matches. We have the men, which is Era against Team Ciampa. And then on the women's side, it is Team Baszler against Team Ripley. So they're both 4v4s. We thought it'd be 5v5 for the women because all the people that were involved with it. But they're making it into a story, which is kind of cool, of who's going to get on the team, who they're going to pick. And then we don't know what's going to happen. So at time of recording, there's going to be a match on NXT for advantage in the match between Io Shirai and Mia Yim. And a ladder match. Io Shirai in a ladder match sounds amazing.
That's going to be great.
Io's going to do something insane. So yeah, that'll be, I think, something's going to happen. Yeah. Shh. Sorry. Peter Avalon stopping by real quick.
Yeah, right.
So that match, I think the heel's going to get the advantage, which I think also bleeds in Survivor Series of making sure Shayna isn't dead for the match. So I think the heels will win. For the match itself, I don't know who's going to win right now. My guess is Team Baszler, just keep them strong for Survivor Series.
I can see that.
Maybe, or they may play up the Rhea factor. Maybe she pins Baszler. Maybe book a title match after that, and that's where she wins. And then Shayna goes to Raw probably. Who knows? We don't know. It's early days for that. Men's side. The men's side, we have Era against Team Ciampa. Ciampa is Tommaso Ciampa, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, and a mystery fourth partner right now. Who's it going to be? Will it be Dijakovic, which makes a lot of sense considering his history with both the Era and the triple threat match with Keith Lee he had with Roddy, and his history with Keith Lee. They've been kind of making amends as of late, and he's not really doing much else right now. Could it be Johnny Gargano? Well, I don't think it's going to be him because the Finn Balor situation.
Could there be another Johnny added to this equation?
Could it be Johnny Mundo, Johnny 5-Star, Johnny Impact, John Morrison? Will he come back? As much as Velveteen Dream is another one, but Dream he's
injured still.
Sadly injured till 2020, which that's sad.
Could have Isaiah Scott. We could have.
He's been showing up a lot lately. He was back from injury apparently. He had like an eye injury, right?
Something like that.
It wasn't great.
We could have Pete Dunne show up. He's
busy right now
with Damian Priest.
With Priest and Killian Dane and Tyler Bates in there too to help out Pete. So that might be like a tag match maybe. But no, I think Dane had a fight with Priest, so they're not all on the same page. So we know what's going to happen there. So it's kind of up in the air. My pick is Dijakovic to play it safe, but a shock would be John Morrison. So I think it's going to be one of those two because there is the report that Morrison did sign, but we don't know if it was true or not. My guess is that it was true.
They're saying it's true. They just don't know what to do with him yet.
We just don't know it's a surprise. It's just a surprise, which we'll have to keep waiting. So yeah, other than that, both shows have been really good the past couple of weeks. I've slightly enjoyed NXT more, but that's not saying Dynamite was bad. Both shows have been great. To be fair, they've been some of the more entertaining bits of TV.
Facts.
In general, both those shows. It's just a matter of it's apples and oranges, basically. Like, which one do you prefer?
Yeah.
So yeah, sticking to those shows, we're gonna switch over to our next segment. We're gonna talk about Full Gear now. So tonight is AEW Full Gear at time of recording. We're gonna talk about our match by match, do our predictions, maybe talk about moments of the night, what we think will happen, what we want to happen, maybe anything else about the show. So we're gonna go in what I think will be the match order, starting with the buy-in. The buy-in match, there's only one right now. It's going to be Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She's a dentist, by the way, against the now former Stardom champion, Bea Priestley. Sam, who do you have and why?
Bea Priestley, she needs the win.
Yeah. Eric, you picked... Who'd you pick?
Britt Baker. I think
Disagreement.
I think she's going to get pushed to be the top female for the AEW's women's roster.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's going to be the top. I think she's going to if this is kind of theory. It's a wild theory, but I think what could happen was with the women's championship match, we could see Emi Sakura beat Rio, and then Britt Baker would beat Sakura. So you keep, there's not a babyface match.
That's true, but we'll get to that match in a bit. But I'm also picking B. So my big thing for B is this is B's first actual singles match in AEW. She's only been in tag matches so far, and she has not really been able to do as much in the matches. We've seen flashes of her, but she hasn't been able to do much from what we've seen of B in the promotion so far. So I think B will win, just to mainly give her some momentum and help her display her. This is Bea Priestley. This is what she's like. This is her first big singles match. And I also think it's gonna be consolation because she just lost a Stardom title last weekend. So I'm gonna go with B. Maybe Britt will win. As much as I like Britt, I just feel like that they might want to start giving other people momentum because she has a really good win-loss record already. So they might want to give B some wins too, just to keep her strong in the division. So just having her lose right away in singles competition. So I don't think that's the only match we have on the buy-in. Next match I have written down is the Tag Team Championship match. So we have the champions SCU against the Lucha Brothers and Private Party. I picked SCU. They just won the belts. Their first big defense on a pay-per-view. Private Party is there to take the fall. SCU is going to win.
Agreed.
I think I just don't think you can have the Lucha Brothers get pinned twice because you need to keep them strong because they're one of your better tag teams, probably the best one in the company and in the world. Sorry, OC. I think it's going to be a very fun match. I think this is a good way to open the show. Just a fast-paced tag team match like they do for most of their shows. So, yeah, it'll be fun, but SCU will probably sneak in the win by hitting SCU later on one of the Private Party, probably Isaiah Cassidy. But that'll be it. Eric, you've
Is that
agreed.
what their finisher's called? The SCU later?
That's their finisher, SCU later. It's kind of clever.
And hope they get... Which one of the guys in Private Party is the one that screams?
It's
Isaiah, right?
I was gonna say, I think no.
Mark Quinn is Mark Quinn's one with the sunglasses. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, so
it's
Isaiah.
Whatever he does, it makes me laugh. So I hope if they do SCU later on Isaiah, he does that scream right before he gets kicked.
Oh,
in
that's
the
right.
face.
He's a really high pitched scream.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. He did it this week against the Dark Order. It's really funny. That's a pretty easy one to call. I think what will happen is that the feud between SCU and Lucha Brothers will go to probably some random episode of Dynamite where they'll cap it off with a trios match between SCU at full strength against Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid comes back. Do a trios match there, and that's how you end the feud. And then, that'll be that. Next match, we'll go to Shawn Spears versus Joey Janela. So this feud has been hastily put together. There's been they've been beefing on Twitter here and there, but that was really it until Dark this week, where Spears and Blanchard attacked Joey with the pliers. I'm like, that looks gross. Ow. We never saw what happened, but it looks like Joey was okay. So it's put together. It's pretty last minute, but it should be nice. I've gone for Shawn Spears.
I agree.
Yeah, Spears I think needs to win more because you brought this guy in and you gave him Tully Blanchard. You make him more of a big deal, but I was really shocked when Cody beat him. But it's made sense since then because Cody's now challenging for the title because of wins and losses. Spears also lost to Moxley in Boston, so he kind of needs to win more because Joey's been showing up with those matches with Kenny. Looked really, really good in those matches, and he won a match on Dark, I believe.
Yes.
So Joey's been slowly getting back on his feet, but we've seen a lot more of Joey than we have of Shawn Spears in recent months. So I'm gonna go with Shawn Spears. This one's more tricky. I'm not as confident in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if Joey did win. But my heart and head say that Shawn Spears is going to get the win. Just get some heat back on him.
I agree.
Sam.
I want Janela to win because I love Joey Janela.
Is that your final answer?
That's it.
Ooh, bold. But, this one is kind of hard to call because it's very last minute and I don't have much other reason.
And these matches are harder to call because, the wins and losses do matter. So these are just harder to call than like a WWE pay-per-view.
This also has less builds. So it's kind of hard to say some of the other ones on here are kind of easy to call. In my opinion, like the tag match is kind of easy to call because this stuff just happened. Next in the card, Hangman Page against Pac. This one's kind of tricky too because both guys could really use a win. It's being billed as a rubber match because Pac beat Hangman on Dynamite. Page got him back in that tag match when Moxley walked out on him. So now it's their third match. I guess the winner is probably going to be primed for a title shot, maybe? Depending on what happens later. We don't know yet.
It's probably gonna be
So,
Pac then.
yeah, my pick, I've gone for Pac.
I gone for Pac.
Yeah, I just think he plays up the win-losses like so much in his character that I think he needs this win a lot more than Hangman does. Hangman, he's been doing really well. He's had some really good showings on
He's
Dynamite.
also had the first ever championship match in the company.
That's true. He didn't win. He looked good.
Just to be in the match is
It's a big
honor.
rub, and he's been doing pretty well on Dynamite. He's been having some good matches, but I think Pac needs to win more because I think they're gonna build him more, maybe for a title shot or maybe a mid card title.
I'd love that.
Maybe have him be a mid card champion for a while. Maybe he'll have a run like he did with the cruiserweight title, where he'll just be the king of the division and he'll be the top heel. And then maybe once he loses, he'll go up to the world title picture. Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah. So have we all gone for Pac? Or someone going?
I've chosen
All right.
Pac.
So the bastard beats the horse. Fifth match out of the 8, we have the women's championship match. We have Riho against her teacher, which we've learned on Dynamite this week, Emi Sakura, also known as Freddie Mercury. This one, easiest one to call, Riho. This one's
Riho.
just too easy.
Someone picked Emmy though.
Wow, and someone in our pretty much our org has picked Emmy, which is a shock because Emmy's record before this match even looked, she was 1-2, which is not great. She won one match on Dark.
She does not need a victory.
I just don't think it's the right call. I think it's too early for Riho to lose. She's only had the belt for a month. And Riho is very much appreciated across the fan base. A lot of the younger fans like her a lot, so I don't see a reason to take it off her. I'm
She
sure
looks like one of them.
she's 19, isn't she?
Yeah.
Or 22?
I don't know.
She's younger than I am.
She's
I
97.
think.
She's 97 pounds also. So it's like, Christ,
Bodier.
it's crazy that she's that good too. But Joshi wrestlers, what can I tell you? They're just really good people.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one's pretty easy. I think it'll be fun because they're two very good, very skilled wrestlers in the ring. It's a Joshi match. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, Rio. It's easiest
Pretty
one,
obvious,
too early.
yeah.
And I think after this, they need to start building the women's division more because I
I
think
think B. Priestley will be your next one to challenge for the title.
yeah, I think B wins and that's your next feud because she'll have a big
she'll
win.
probably be your next champion too, because then they'll do Britt Baker versus B.
And then
probably.
they'll do a rematch, and then they could do the rubber match maybe, and then that's maybe when she finally wins because they need to focus more on building the women's division outside of their top people because they're just on Dark all the time, just doing tag matches or throwaway matches, and it's like you can do better than this. I think it's kind of bad. Sorry, Kenny, just need to work on it some more. Just I know you guys take feedback, just keep that in mind. Going back to speaking of the Elite. We have a tag match. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson against Santana and Ortiz. Their first proper tag team match, not against squash talent in AEW. This is your first Elite versus Inner Circle match, I think. Yeah, because Hangman Pac is not Inner Circle. I've gone for Santana and Ortiz.
Yep, Pride and Powerful.
Yeah, they absolutely need to win because it's
Bucks
their
don't want to win.
Yeah, Bucks. They've been really selfless, putting people like the Private Party over, but they've been winning a fair amount since then. They won the match against the Best Friends. They won the 6-man on Halloween, but they then got attacked by Proud and Powerful. So I'll be interested to see how they book this. I do think that they'll win. I don't know if it'll be clean. Maybe some run-in, maybe some shenanigans, maybe a roll-up might end the match for Santana and Ortiz. This feud, faction versus faction, is definitely gonna go past this show. So it's hard to say, but I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna go for Santana and Ortiz. Yeah, you both agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same reasons, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe sometime down the line, maybe the next pay-per-view will have a big, kind of a War Games match, but War Games is trademarks. They can't really do that between Inner Circle and the Elite.
I mean, hey, Cody said when Elite goes against the Inner Circle, it's gonna be war.
Or a match beyond, as he described it.
Oh, and it was hinting.
That's a hint at War Games. Back in the day, that's what they called it.
I think
that's
they're
a
trying
nickname.
to get the trademark.
Yeah, but it's kind of NXT's thing right now.
Yeah.
You have to work around that, boys. So this will be called the official main event of the show because we'll get to reasons why the other one won't be the official main event. But the World Championship match, Le Champion, Chris Jericho, against the challenger, Cody. So there's been a lot of elements added to this match. 60-minute time limit with judges at ringside in case it goes to a draw, which adds kind of a sports element to it, which is cool. But will they go to 60 minutes? I'm going to say no, because Jericho's old.
Jericho still got it though.
I hope he can go 60 minutes. Is my
He's probably
concern.
at the peak of his career right now.
I mean, according to Sammy Guevara, he is. as the
I'd
youngest
say
world
he
champion in
is.
AEW
Youngest
history.
world champion.
Yeah, but I'm picking Jericho.
Jericho.
I just think it's
Jericho.
now it's not the time.
Well, it won't ever be the time
part
again.
Part of me
Cody
wants me for Cody to win, because like that promo this week was really well done from him. They built this match pretty well, but I don't think it's time right now. And I think, but the loophole is that if Cody, Cody won't challenge if he loses again.
Is it like, okay, so is the agreement that if Cody loses to Jericho, like if he pins or submitted, or what if it's a DQ or a no contest?
We'll see. Maybe there'll be a loophole there.
MJF is gonna get.
We'll get to that in a moment. Actually, that's our fantasy booking thing. We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I think Jericho's just gonna win. I think it's too early. I think maybe the next interview they do will be the time he loses it. Depends on who's built next to beat him. But I'm interested to see how they do this match and what like the presentation of it will be with the judges at ringside. And if anybody else gets involved, maybe we'll see MJF try to help Cody. Maybe we'll see Santana and Ortiz come back up. Maybe someone else, maybe a new debut will help Jericho win. Maybe like Wardlow might help him. We have no idea. So this would be like the official main event, but in actual it's a co-main event, because what I think will be the main event, the lights out match, unsanctioned, Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley, a feud that goes all the way back to May at Double or Nothing since the show ended. And I think Jon Moxley's going to win.
Moxley.
Yeah, 100%.
This is his first big match on a pay-per-view scale outside of the Fyter Fest match, but that was really just a showcase match for Moxley. And this is his kind of match. Yeah. You can't have Jon Moxley lose in his kind of match. It makes him look dumb.
Exactly.
So this is gonna be brutal. This is not gonna be pretty in any way. There's gonna be a lot of blood. There's gonna be a lot of big spots, and Kenny's probably gonna sell his ass off for what's gonna happen too. So it's gonna be crazy. We'll actually get to see those barbed wire bat and the barbed wire broom getting played in the use. So that's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be.
Is this the biggest match of the year?
In AEW, I think so. I don't know if it's the biggest one of like all companies, but I think it's the biggest match in AEW. Because I can't think of anything else. Like maybe Jericho Cody. That's been played up as a big deal in kayfabe. But yeah, this is like the one I'm looking forward to the most. Yeah. It's not going to be pretty, but Moxley needs to win, because I think if Jericho wins, I think Moxley's going to be next in line.
Yeah.
Beautiful violence.
It's going to be some great stuff. Yeah, those are our predictions. A lot of agreements, a couple of disagreements here and there, but this is going to be a very eventful show. I think some other tidbits we should look out for is for maybe Wardlow will debut. Let's stick for the announcement of the next pay-per-view. Probably going to be, I think it's going to be in February, if I had to pick a month. And then maybe they'll announce the mid-card title. Maybe, since I mentioned it earlier. But yeah, that's our predictions for Full Gear. We're not going to stop with AEW just yet. We're going to stitch over to some quick fantasy booking. We mentioned MJF earlier, so we're going to do some fantasy booking of the potential turn of MJF on his best friend, Cody. The roller coaster, as he calls him. I like that nickname. So MJF has been an interesting character on Dynamite so far. He had that match on DC where he beat Brandon Cutler pretty quickly. And we've only seen him pop up here and there ever since. He did commentary on Dark, which was fun. He's been showing up on weekly TV, just helping out Cody and the boys. But he's also been prominent on being the elite, saying the Bucks, so he doesn't care about them. He only cares about Cody right now.
He's only at 3 matches.
Yeah, and he's only won one of them, right?
He's 2-1.
What was his other one? Oh, the sixth man. Fight for the Fallen. Yep. He didn't win them, but I know he was on the winning team. So MJF is in an interesting position. He's always being positioned as a big deal, but we haven't seen a lot of him outside of like his occasional promo, his commentary on Dark, and the pay-per-view stuff. So if and when he does turn, how should they go about it?
I think it's happening tonight.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think it's at that, and then he's gonna come in and screw Cody, and then so now Cody can't challenge for the AEW championship anymore. He got betrayed by his best friend.
Heat on MJF.
That's mega heat.
He's gonna be the most hated man in this business.
I think is what he's going for.
And I think
he doesn't care because he's better than us and he knows it.
And I think that's the best way they can do it.
Yeah, I think another way they might do it is if Cody wins, MJF comes down to celebrate, only for him to like just kick him in the balls after, and he'll be like, "I like this, I'm gonna go for this now and fight you."
MJF versus Cody.
He spoils the big win by kicking Cody in the balls, but he also maybe he inadvertently costs him. Maybe when he tries to help him, he accidentally cost him, and Cody's like, what happened? And then there's a whole argument, and then MJF just gets pissed. But the way you do it is like, maybe Jericho's about to win, like maybe he gets like some sort of like foreign object, MJF stops him, and then he like looks at Cody, and then he decks Cody with it.
Or maybe like what the Hardys boys did, that one Royal Rumble against Edge.
I remember
where
that.
Matt Hardy came down to help Jeff, and then
He
swung and hit Jeff with a chair.
Chair shot to the head.
Yeah.
That's when stills are still allowed.
I think MJF might join Inner Circle.
Ooh, that's just, ow. That would
No,
suck.
I think he's like Ciampa, where he's better as a heel by himself.
Yeah, I don't think he
But
needs
then
it.
again, so is Jericho. So is Sammy Guevara.
So with so many other people,
Yeah,
like everybody.
There's
like
nothing.
Ciampa.
There's not. You don't get credibility taken away from you if you join the team. I would think.
It can help. It can help for newer guys. It might be better for you too.
Yeah.
Help introduce you to the audience. But people,
I mean, they're all assholes like MJF, and MJF could definitely learn a few things. Well, not that he doesn't already know a lot of things.
but he can learn more from like veterans like Jericho. MJF
can
is
learn-
23 for the record.
He could learn so much under Jericho, and that'd make MJF even better than he is already.
'Cause he's already a lot of fun.
Like,
He's
yeah.
so fun to watch, and he's just entertaining. Of course, like is he the best heel in wrestling? Do you guys think is he the best heel right now in
He's
wrestling?
the best heel on the mic.
He's
for
the best
sure.
Yeah.
heel on the mic, hands down. Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's one of the better ones in the world of wrestling. I don't know if he's the best heel.
I wouldn't say best heel. Yeah,
I think it's Adam Cole.
I'd say Cole or Jericho.
We haven't seen him much in
Those
the
are good
ring
ones.
to see how his heel in ring work is.
It's been so brief.
Yeah.
But like he can go. I just like seen tidbits of him. Like the match against Cutler was kind of just like it's kind of like a glorified squash. But he still got he looked good. So I'd be cool with it. I'm just curious to see how they do it. But the way that you described it of him, I like the way he inadvertently costs him or just portrays him like right before he wins.
I think straight up stabs him in the back.
Oof,
Or
because
it's like the match goes on for a while. MJF comes out and just pulls some shenanigans.
but he's playing. He doesn't like Jericho. It was all a ruse all along.
And it also
Ooh.
adds to the comedy fact that the judges weren't even needed. Like, none of it was really
It was all a work.
It was all a work just to push MJF.
What if he's a judge? That'd be amazing. And he's the last judge. He goes, "Oh, Jericho was better," and then
Yeah,
he joins
it's
Inner
like-
Circle. That'd be so funny, but also like, wow, what a dick. He would look like such. He was the factor that why Cody didn't win the title. So like, what that they'd have the match on pay-per-view.
And then you can how Cody's promos have been going. You can see him go, "You were my best friend.
You were
trusted
supposed to
you.
be my friend.
I
Batista-
trusted you."
It's Batista Rey Mysterio all over again.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to be my friend.
He throws him. It was such a good moment. Yeah, this will happen on pay-per-view, probably at their next show, whatever it's called. I don't know what it'll be called. Yeah, and then the build to that would be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot of promo stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of promo stuff. A lot of family stuff. Like Brandy will probably get involved, but Brandy's been as of late.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she might get involved in some way.
Well, she's doing her own thing with like
Yeah.
Awesome Kong.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Like every time I watch her video, I'm like, like I think the way that I think Jack the Jobber described it, it's like Twin Peaks, but then Matthew said on the podcast, "Oh, it's Twin Peaks if it made sense." Yeah. So yeah, it's really weird. I don't know what's gonna happen with her, but I think she's doing her own thing. I don't care about Brandy Rhodes. I don't like her. Yeah, I think she's bad at her job. So yeah. That's enough fantasy booking. So we're all in the same boat of how it will happen. We'll have to see. Time of recording. Maybe it's happened by the time this comes out. Maybe it hasn't. We're all stupid. I don't know. We'll find out. So we're gonna do a quick segue to a quick sponsor break. Today's episode of the Shoot Style Sauna is sponsored by the Steam Dream Store. So do you guys like going to the beach?
Of course.
Do you guys like having your own beach towel like customized?
Yeah.
Where are we going with
So
this?
what if I told you that you can now support your new wrestling podcast on the beach with a new Shoot Style Sauna beach towel on our store?
We're doing towels
What?
too now?
Yep. So not only are the VIP towels for the superstars of the week thing now, we have an actual beach towel.
You can have your
I
very
love going to the
own
beach in the
VIP
winter.
towel.
Or maybe you like traveling, or like going to like the Bahamas, or going down south to like some really nice place in Florida. Well, now you go to teespring.com/steamdream and pick up your own Shoot Style Sauna towel. $35, and hey, you can make it cheaper. You have a discount code. Use the code SAUNA for 15% off your first purchase. Again, that's the code SAUNA at teespring.com/steamdream to get your own Shoot Style Sauna towel and support your boys on the beach. And maybe when you go into a sauna, you can wear it there too. See what I'm going with this? You better. But yeah, so Getting back into the show, we're going to introduce a new segment to the table. This new segment is called In the Spotlight, where a broadcaster will talk about something they've really enjoyed as of late and shine some love on that show. So this week, I'm going to be taking the floor, and I'm going to talk about a bit about NWA Power. So the NWA has recently started a show on their YouTube channel called Power. This is a weekly show that airs on their channel every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. to 7, so right before AW Dark. And it's been a really fun show. It's a lot different than what you see on TV right now. It has a very old school look and feel to it. And they fit a lot of content in for only an hour time play. So they like to open the show with like a quick promo. Like the promos are like at least like 2 or 3 minutes at most, I'm going to say. They really trim things down of how they book their talent as well. It's very quick, very effective, like storytelling too. And they like their promo work is very good.
They brought back studio wrestling.
Yeah, and it looks nice too for where they are. And the crowd's really lively too.
Yeah.
They have a great crowd. And yeah, it's very concise stuff, to the point. It's entertaining a lot. So for those who haven't seen NWA Power, I'll run down some of the names that they have on the show, if you like are interested at all. So some names from different companies. They've had Nick Aldis, formerly known as, I think it was Magnus in Impact.
Yep. When
he first showed up, he's come a long way. He's their current champion. He beat Cody for the title. I think it was this time last year when he first won the title. So he's their champion. He's been doing really well for himself. Those remember Damien Sandow? Well, he's there. He's Aaron Stevens now.
Wow.
So his whole character, it's kind of like Miz. He's this Hollywood actor who talks a lot about his movies a lot, and he's been losing a lot of his matches. So his big feud right now is a guy against Ricky Starks. And I think it was last week's episode where Ricky Starks said, "You talk too much," and then he slapped him. And then they had a match this week on Power. It was 2 out of 3 falls, and Starks pinned him in 3 seconds to start, and then he won 2-0. And Aaron Stevens is really over with the crowd. And his character work has been really, really well done, but it's also look who the guy is.
Yeah.
He knows how to get crowds going. We also have James Storm. He was the former NWA national champion, losing the title to Colt Cabana. He's also there. Colt Cabana just won the title from him this week at NWA Power in a very fun match. Wasn't too long, but it was entertaining. Had some storylines to it. The tag champions are the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's right. The Rock and Roll Express are the tag champions. Those old guys. But Eric
They can still go. When I went to New Japan, Fighting Spirit and Lowell, they had a tag team match against Bullet Club. Owens. Owens and the Master Heater guy. I can't remember the names at the moment, but they can still go.
And they're the champions right now. Last time we saw them on Dynamite getting killed by Santana and Ortiz, so they can take bumps too. You gotta commend the guys for that too. So yeah, they're their tag champions right now. They're going against, I think, the Dawsons are the guys.
Yep.
So I forget their names are, but that's their tag team name. Yeah, another tag team wrestler, Trevor Murdoch. That's right. Trevor Murdoch is in NWA. He was wrestling a couple weeks ago. I think he won a match too. So yeah, he's kicking about. I never thought I'd see him again. Eli Drake, former Impact guy, he's also there. Homicide, an old school Impact guy back when they were TNA, the 6-sided ring.
He's also
there.
Ring of Honor prominent Ring of Honor.
Yes, big deal. Mr. Anderson, he's also there. He's sticking around. Also known as Mr. Kennedy in WWE. And on color commentary, everybody's favorite, Jim Cornette. Joey Janela sure loves himself some Jim Cornette. He's actually pretty funny on commentary, I'm not gonna lie. This week he had a show to Mimsy reference to South Park on commentary, and I'm like, he really just did that. He literally said that on commentary, so I'm like, that was good. I never thought he could do that on a wrestling show before. So yeah, if you're interested in some more old school feel to your wrestling, and you like very concise content with very quick segments and fun vignettes and an old school feel, their theme song is "Into the Fire" by Dawkins. Nice. If you guys know that band, Dawkins is their theme song. I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, if you're interested in old school wrestling, like that feel and presentation, you can go to the NWA YouTube channel every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. and watch some NWA Power.
6:05.
That's true, because they premiere. Because their premiere time is weird. They start at 6:05 to go for 50 minutes.
Well, that's how the old wrestling shows were back in the 80s and 70s. 6:05 Saturday night.
Yeah, look at that. Attention to detail. But yeah, again, NWA YouTube channel every Tuesday night, 6:05 p.m. NWA Power. A lot of fun. So we're going to go into our final segment of the show. This is the Steam Dream Universe update, where we give you an update on the Steam Dream Universe. For those who don't know, first-time listeners, the SDU Universe is a WWE 2K19, not 20, 19 universe mode run by our producer, Tim. And in that universe mode, I am the producer of SmackDown Live, Sam is the producer of NXT, and Tim runs Raw. So Tim, as of late, kind of rushed the end of the year. He had a lot of creative Like I said, lack of creativity. He described it as, and we basically just simulate the rest of the year very quickly. And he wanted me to go over the what happened pretty much and who the current champions are going into the new year and any awards we had. So I got some rundown sort of like Royal Rumble and stuff like that. So the Rumble I think was won. The men, I believe, Bray Wyatt of NXT in this world won. That's on Sam's side. And the women's Royal Rumble, I believe it was Asuka, I think, won that one. And then at Mania, we had the culmination of Bray Wyatt, I forgot what title he went for. Let me look at this. He went for the NXT title. He did. I figured the archives are gone by this point. I can't find them on the spreadsheet, but Bray Wyatt is now the NXT champion. He did win the title in this universe. I guess we'll go over champion by champion at each show now. On NXT, you have, which is Sam's show, you have NXT is your Bray Wyatt's main champion. Chris Jericho is your North American champion. Drew McIntyre is your United Kingdom champion. Women's champion is Bayley, who I think just won the title. Beautiful People won the tag titles, and then the Money in the Bank, which was determined at Mania, is an NXT superstar for the women's side. Lacey Evans won the women's Money in the Bank and Mania in this universe mode. Sam, any plans for year 2 as of right now?
None at the moment. I've had no time to think this over lately, just because of life conflicts. Nothing at the moment.
Fair enough.
Bray Wyatt champion as long as possible.
He has a stable, right? He has like a new Wyatt family, right?
It'll slowly become a new stable, but it's just him and Lars for now.
All right, yeah, Lars it's like pet project right now. On SmackDown, the champions, Luis Venezuela, which is the new repackaging of the former No Way Jose. He beat Undertaker for the WWE Championship.
What?
What?
Yep. Yeah, that's right. He beat Undertaker for the WWE title. So I'll explain this better. So I have this faction on SmackDown that Tim and I came up with called El Sindicato, it's a Mexican organization of Latino superstars. So the leader is Andrade, who is the South American champion.
Nice.
We have Valenzuela, who's like the muscle of the group, the former No Way Jose. Sin Cara and Lince Dorado and Epico. So the tag titles are with Sin Cara and Lince Dorado, and then the hardcore champion is Epico. So they're on the show, and Tim and I, at WrestleMania, you want to know what happened? It was Andrade versus Vince McMahon for control of SmackDown, and Andrade won. So SmackDown is now Lucha Underground in this universe, and now they run the show. So my champions, aside from them, the women's champion is now Bianca Belair. She capped off her eventful year by beating Alexa Bliss for the championship, and now she is our new champion going into the year. She had a really good year. She did not win Women's Superstar of the Year, though. We'll do the Raw roster going into year 2. Tim's champions are Finn Balor as Universal Champion. I think he beat The Rock for the title. IC champion is Sheamus. Cruiserweight champion is the Big Strong Boy and Tyler Bate. Raw Women's champion is still Ember Moon. I think she's held the title for the entire year at this point, so that's really impressive. Raw tag titles are with the Undisputed Era, Kyle and Bobby. And Tim's Money in the Bank winner is on Raw. That is AJ Styles is the Money in the Bank winner. So maybe Tim might have him go after Finn. Could be cool. OC's not really a thing in this universe, I want to say, because I think Gallows and Anderson are on SmackDown with me, or Lucha Underground. So the awards, if I could find them, let's see. Do you have them listed anywhere? I know the gist of most of them. If I can, yeah, he deleted the entire year 1 sheet if I can find it. But I think the male superstar of the year was Bray Wyatt of NXT. So Sam's superstar won there. Women's superstar of the year was Ember Moon. I forget what match. I think match of the year was Survivor Series, where it was The Rock versus Taker versus Ricochet, which was the 3 World Champions match. And I think Rock. I forget if either Rock or Taker won that, but it's been a while. Tim is the guy here, and Tim is obviously away. So yeah, the feud of the year, I forgot who went to that. I think tag team of the year was El Sindicato. I forget because the awards I can't find them. But yeah, that's the gist of that. Year 2 will be starting up. The first pay-per-view in year 2 for SDU is going to be Bad Blood making a comeback. Come from Manchester, England. And your main event of that show is going to be Finn Balor versus Adam Cole for the Universal title in a Hell in a Cell match. That's bold. That's very bold. For SmackDown, the first pay-per-view is going to be Backlash, coming from Mexico City, Mexico. So it's on home turf for Lucha Underground people. The main event of that show will be Andrade Cien Almas versus Randy Orton for the South American title. So I think Orton's going to be your first guy to go against Andrade now that he kind of runs the show. So we'll continue the push there. And on Sam's side, we have TakeOver Toronto. And the main event of that show is going to be Bray Wyatt versus Triple H in a no DQ match. Do you have any input on that, or is that just Tim's idea?
I don't know. It just sounds like it's gonna be a bloodbath, even though it's virtual.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. So we're getting ready for year 2.
Bloodbath.
The champions are set. We have some plans going into the year, but yeah. I think that's all we have for the update right now. I'll keep you guys posted on the next episode to see if any new developments have happened. But yeah, we've come to an end on episode 6. We must now unfortunately close our doors until next time. Next time we come to you, it'll be Survivor Series weekend.
Woo!
NXT TakeOver War Games and Survivor Series predictions and pitches will probably be on the way. So a lot to be expected on that episode. We'll have probably some AEW updates on the war, what's going on with Wednesday nights, any of their input. Sam and Eric, anything to plug?
No. Just keep watching wrestling, keep supporting independent wrestling.
Amen. What he said.
Yeah, watch NWA Power and also watch the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast with Ross, Matthew, and Jack the Jobber on Cultaholic. That's all I have to plug. If you're watching this, thank you.
Check out the Steam Dream store.
Yep, teespring.com/SteamDream. Get your beach towel. Also check out the Steam Dream YouTube channel, youtube.com/SteamDream. Check it out and see all other videos of vlogs, the championship series of the championship being defended in Smash Brothers as of late. We have some other stuff coming out for you. A punishment for Full Gear will be coming. It's a spicy one, and I mean that.
Quite literally.
Indeed.
Our buttholes are going to burn.
It's not going to be great for the loser. We'll find out who it is tonight. But again, until next time, we will see you again when we open our doors. But for now, the sauna will cool down. It will close our doors and bid you adieu. And we will see you next time.